about your dog. Actually, first, Andrew, tell me who you are.
Yeah, I'm Andrew Ledford.
Yeah.
I have adaptive dog training at ocdogtraining.com, and I have the dog community, or at least the largest dogs community, on Google Plus.
The largest period.
The largest dog community.
That's
Then there's an animal lovers community that is larger than mine, but it encompasses all animals.
sure. So tell me, what qualifies you to be a dog expert? What have you? What's your background on this?
I was raised by a German Shepherd as a baby.
You were raised by German Shepherd. Okay, that's interesting. So tell me more about that.
We had a German Shepherd when I was born, and it was sort of like my babysitter.
Okay.
But then, when I was 11 years old, I started training dogs.
Wow. So at 11 you started training dogs, and okay. So what kind of track or what kind of experience you have, or how?
Uh, When I was 11, started training high school, worked with kind of a famous trainer that a lot of people don't like now, Kohler, which most people don't know what the Kohler method is, really. They just know he was hard on dogs, and he was.
Okay.
He was a good trainer, just not a modern trainer.
Okay.
And then worked with a few kind of famous people with police dogs
Okay.
after that.
So you've trained police dogs for general purpose, for
Well,
sniffing?
police dogs for police departments, and at the same time, protection dogs for the general public.
Okay. So obviously you know what you're doing. And so do you consult? Do you train people? I mean, do you currently train, or do you dedicate mostly to managing your communities and providing information?
I do both.
Okay.
So I do training. I have had training programs in the past where I have an apprentice program to
Okay.
teach other people how to train.
All right.
And
Would,
now,
would
hmm?
no, go ahead.
And I've done some training overseas, so some international training. That's always fun.
All right. And so do you like training German Shepherds the most, or?
I like German Shepherds as
Okay.
a personal dog, but I enjoy training in general.
I see. Do you have a favorite breed that you like you prefer to train over others?
Not really a favorite breed to train, but I do like a good German Shepherd for my own dog,
I see.
for a pet, or a Labrador. I'm starting to lean towards mixed dogs a little bit as well.
Okay. So, something that I just discovered actually, and anyone that's watching this, Andrew trained my dog, and he did an amazing job. So all the questions I've asked him, I already knew the answers, but I wanted to share it with you. But one of the things I learned from him was that, and I kind of knew this, but I didn't really set in me that each dog breed and type has their own temperament, and a way of training them. Correct? Like some training techniques may not work with the same breeds across the board. Is that true?
Yes, they all respond a little differently.
Sure. So
So,
a
oh,
trait.
like the touching exercise I do with most dogs, German Shepherds respond different than the majority of
I
dogs.
see. So
Um,
so not all training is the same, and just because somebody's been able to train their own dog doesn't mean that you should hire them to train your dog, especially if it's a different breed, right?
exactly. I once hired a famous dog trainer.
Sure.
He was famous for winning competitions with his dog, and he was great at training his dog,
Sure.
but he was not that good at training other people's dogs
Okay.
or working with other people. So I ended up going back and retraining all the dogs he worked with.
I see.
But
I
he
see.
was a great dog trainer, especially with his dog.
Sure. So now I pretty much covered everything. So where do we find you? Could you I mean, tell me, but also do me a favor. Do me a favor and type in your two websites and the Google group if you don't mind posting a link on the chat so I have it. But tell us also where can we find you? Where can we find more about you? Where can we contact you if we want to hire you for training?
At ocdogtraining.com
Okay.
is the main dog training site now.
All right. And yeah, if you don't mind typing them in there and sharing the link with the chat, I'll share it also with our viewers. So,
Let's see.
Megan, I'd love to ask you the same type of questions for the podcasting stuff, but maybe next time once your video and audio is up and running, that'd be good.
Let me grab the community link.
Sure. And I think I'm part of the community. I'm ashamed to say I haven't been very active because I've been so busy with Claire and my own business.
And then I have the new website for the community that I hope to build to, or at least start today.
Okay.
It might not get finished today.
All right. What's the name of it? Or what?
And that will be dogsbyandrew.com.
All right. Cool. Oh, and that's the one that you were asking for kind of a feedback on the names, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. 27,000 members on your list on your Google Plus. Wow, that's awesome.
It goes up about 300 to 500 a day.
Very cool. And how did you determine that you wanted to create a community for Google Plus? I mean,
That's an interesting story. I knew it was. I knew Google Communities were coming up. I was following it. The lady who has the cat community, who works for Google Communities, I think she had it going a day before. Everybody knew it was coming out. So as I would see a client get done with a client, I'd come home, check to see if it started yet. Go
okay.
see another client, come home, check. And once it was available, I just started a community without thinking about it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have planned a bit better.
Sure. So what would you have done differently
I may have done it as a public community, but you need to ask to join.
instead of just open?
Yeah.
And why is that? If you wanted to give some tips out to anybody that's trying a Google Plus community for pets or other topics, why is that?
I just think it would be easier to manage. It probably would not have grown as big, but I think it would have been easier to manage.
And are you able to delegate some tasks of management to other people if you wanted to? Like a forum has moderators that you could assign. Is that a possibility on Google Groups?
Yes. Yeah, I could have moderators. So far, I've chosen not to. There are a few reasons.
Sure.
I've wanted to kind of get a feel for how I'm going to incorporate the website and some of the shortcomings of the community, so I can balance that out through the website or with the website and the newsletter.
All right.
I think that all three of them should work well together
Cool.
as far as informing people and giving people options as far as events that I hope to do in the future and that sort of thing.
Interesting. And I mean, I'm looking at it right now, so people will see kind of half of your face and a little bit of your community. But what what are some of the topics and discussions that go on there for the most part? Is it just
Mostly it's photographs and people talking about their dogs and stories about their dogs.
okay?
I hope to encourage more people to post birthday pictures of their dogs if they have birthday parties,
Sure.
because that's always kind of cool to see how people celebrate.
Sure.
I was doing a lot of slideshow videos, but now that I'm working on my book, I've quit doing those because there's just not enough hours in the day.
Sure. I know the feeling.
Once the book is finished and done and the website's up and going, I'll start going back and doing videos.
All right. Oh, I have to post some of the Picasso's pictures in here. These are great. I see some really cool pictures here. Very
Yeah,
cool.
we have
So,
a really great community.
Yeah.
And we're pretty supportive. The Rainbow Bridge section is quite active. That's probably the saddest thing about a large community is you start seeing dogs pass.
oh, sure.
And, dogs that you get to know, and then, they just
Yeah.
they get old.
Sure. Yeah, my friend's dog just died. Well, he had to be put down because of cancer.